Then, of course, there was Woke Dad, who was kind of low key the last we checked on him after the election, but he's getting a little more dramatic now. He had an interaction that, well, first of all, I don't believe any of these interactions happen.
No.
This might be the most unlikely interaction I've ever heard of him pretending to have.
This is what happened to him following the heartbreaking decision of 2024 on Tuesday.
Yeah, I cried with the Trump supporter.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
I only played 0.5 seconds of that clip, but what he said was,
I cried with a Trump supporter.
today I cried with a Trump supporter. Now he's going to explain why.
I mean, you gotta give the guy credit for writing. I mean, he's hooked me in with his opening premise.
It's kind of brilliant. No, I have to see the rest of it.
Yeah, cried with the Trump supporter. He came to me trying to rub it in my face that his side won and my side
you ended
lost.
up crying.
Some kind of game.
How'd you turn the
And
tables?
I couldn't take it. I let loose on him. I told him everything. I told him how hard he made it for my family.
And that changed him.
How hard his vote made it. And I proved it to him. Showed him.
What?
And all I had to say was, is there anything you wouldn't do to keep your family safe? Because your vote has made it incredibly hard for me to keep my
Wait,
family
pause it
safe.
for a sec.
And
How did this guy first come at him? Did he say?
He was making fun of
gloating,
him.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was gloating for Trump winning the election.
So the kind of guy that's going to gloat to that guy in his face, he managed to turn him around.
I'm going to try that. I honestly, because I don't know if you heard it. I just started crying a second ago when he said, how could you do something that would not keep my family safe?
Right.
And the guy just burst out in tears.
But his secondary character in his story, that's what I'm going to call him, the Trump supporter, is so evil that he's mocking him and laughing in his face, and he turned it around like that.
He's
kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, no, this secondary person is a pussy. If all of a sudden Woke Dad just said, your vote makes it harder for
But
my
he didn't
family
start as a
to say-"
pussy. It's not very...
And then he just breaks out. Listen to it. He just delivered that line, and listen to what this guy says.
And he burst into tears. He begged for my forgiveness. He said he was sorry. It's a little too late, though.
They're going to end up hugging and crying.
And then I blew him.
I cried with members of the trans community that I'm close with. I cried for a friend who doesn't know how to keep his family safe in white America.
Too much crying.
I cried with a woman in the Walmart clearance aisle.
What?
And I cried with an interracial couple. Cutest kids you ever saw in your life. In the pasta aisle at Wegmans.
How do you have time to cry with so many people?
Pause it
know
for a
there's
sec.
people
I just
out
feel
there.
bad for the people in line at the Walmart and at the people in the pasta aisle that are standing behind this guy crying with other people.
Oh, shit.
I just want to check out and go on with my life.
He's already cried with a Trump supporter. He's already cried with someone at Walmart, and then he bumps into an interracial couple, and he's crying with them.
In the pasta section of where?
He's less time for all this crying.
He's checking
I
off
know.
every single box, too.
Can't he invite them all over and just cry at once?
Yeah, and get out of my way so I can check out at Walmart.
Just come to my coffee shop and cry with
How awesome would that be, being in line at Walmart and two people start hugging and crying in front of you? I take it back. I would love that. I would start laughing.
We were saying, don't let them see you cry.
He'd be crying eventually,
Don't
Mark.
let them see that you're defeated. But crying doesn't mean you're defeated.
No.
My humanity is my strength. And
Pause for a second.
sometimes that means I'm...
After all this crying, wouldn't his eyes be a little swollen? I mean, he's been crying everywhere he goes all day. Why do his eyes not look swollen at all?
I think he collected himself for the video. I think that's what happened.
You put cucumbers on him at night.
Okay, he iced his eyes.
And sometimes that means I'm going to cry. I'm going to feel for others. I'm going to try and lift them up. If anybody thinks that my tears are a weakness, that is something that I most definitely know is a weakness in them.
What?
So today,
It's a weakness in me?
But tomorrow I stand up.
Ooh.
I guess the real question is, who stands with me?
Oh.
Who's coming with me?
Who stands with me in the aisle of your local store, blocking your way?
So if Kamala had won, would he cry with a Trump supporter?
Only if they turn the tide on him.
I highly doubt that he would
I don't think he would. I think if
No,
a
I
Trump
can tell you-
person came in crying to the coffee shop, Trump lost.
I was going to say, the story would be, we were happy that Kamala won, and I was serving coffee, and this rude Trump man came up and started rocking my coffee, mobile coffee shop, until I talked to him and calmed down and explained to him. In other words, that person would still be the asshole in the story.
But I think they could cry together. I think he could have possibly created a story where they both cried and hugged.
And then blew each other.
Maybe that too.
So we all went home to the art studio. We were at a big old circle jerk.